See if I get a notification. Evidently, I'm not going to get a notification. Hey, Carol, I was beginning to wonder if I had done it as private or something. I think my lighter's broken. It's going okay, Clifford. Uh, Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Had she's taking that's my daughter. She's taking to doing video calls because she doesn't have to hold the phone. Y'all just don't need to know everything going on in her personal life, I don't reckon. Um, that was a Marco Polo ringtone or whatever, the one for that Marco Polo uses or whatever. I got like 3 open Dr. Peppers on my Dr. Thunders. Hey, Walter, I open one of them whenever I get up with a headache. If it's an easy headache, I go to sleep, back to sleep way before I'm finished drinking. I was going to put this on Facebook too, but it's kind of a pain in the butt because on Facebook, uh, you have to have Facebook open to follow the comments. You know, if you're not, if you don't have the stream actively running, it won't keep the comments going. So, yeah. Um, I actually felt like talking about Mom this morning whenever I put the post up that I was going to do this live stream. I don't feel like doing it anymore. So we may talk about her off and on, but thirsty. Anyway, her passing is just as ugly as we figured it would be. I haven't tried the cola. I'm not a real big cola fan. Yeah, and I read the ingredients. The ingredients are exactly the same as Dr. Pepper. So, and that one sugar or whatever it is in there that eases the cluster headaches for some people, and me included, um, is in there. So there's people that drink Mr. Pibb, and I've never understood. I don't like Mr. Pibb. I like the Dr. Thunder. It's actually really good. And I do like RC Cola. RC Cola is actually the best to put peanuts in. If anybody wants to know. RC Cola is my favorite to put peanuts in, and then after that, it's Dr. Pepper, and then Coke if there's nothing else. Hi, Vanessa. That woman didn't leave anything of any real value behind, Rob, and these people are already calling the law on each other over stupid shit. That's why I didn't go to the funeral today. Um, I knew, I just, I've known these people for 30 years, 30 plus. I knew it was going to be like this. Uh, and it's weird that, it's weird what happened. I mean, the lady's innocent of what they call the popo on or for. I don't know who did it. I think it's funny that somebody did. I figure it's one of the other sisters though, and then they tried to blame somebody else. But the the fact that they made the accusation the way they did knows that to tell everybody that they know what Mom wanted to have happen. So I'm going to miss the lady. I've done a couple of videos today. I hadn't uploaded them yet. I've got to go through them and edit them. She was an amazing lady. The if if you like my wife, there's no way in hell you wouldn't love my mother-in-law. It's that simple. I tried Coke once too, but I kept putting the rolled up 20 in my pocket. That was for Clifford. That was a joke. Um, the woman put me in a headlock. I said I didn't want to take a picture with the family. So she snuck up behind me and put me in a headlock. It's kind of embarrassing. I've never had somebody that strong have a hold of my neck before. It's like she knew what she was. I mean, I couldn't fight too hard. I mean, my mom was in on it also. That's what I get for telling those two ladies no at the same time. And there was a video camera, a big old camcorder, and some the old, I don't know, remember they used to call them 35 millimeter cameras. There's a couple of those involved too. So it's out there somewhere. Was the slowest chat ever? Y'all having trouble keeping up or what? It ain't gonna rain here forever, ever. You shall forever be denied rain. Oh, there it is. Finally got my notification. Let me turn my volume down. I'm gonna try to open the chat over here. Maybe. Pretty much, Rob, yeah. Look like a basically the same thing as the news crews carry around now. Oh, Carol's eating. I'm checking to see how much lag there is in the Doom Flicky. See what if I put it on live chat. Pause this. Pause the video. See. Found a karaoke machine and some other stuff. Ooh, I like grilled cheese sandwiches. What kind of cheese did you use? I know it's not really legal or whatever, But I actually like. Hear me out. I like rye bread, heavily buttered with Velveeta in it. There's like it's. I'm sorry, it's a really good grilled cheese sandwich. Um, Velveeta is not really cheese, and it's like a spread or whatever, but it's really good on rye bread with butter. Oh, pepper jack and mock, that would have been a good sandwich. I like that too. Um, we had grilled cheese the other night. We had fried bologna and grilled cheese. The Mrs. fried the bologna, which is so good, and then she made grilled cheese sandwiches with the fried bologna. That was really good. Also, I had two of them. I like Swiss cheese when it's cold. I don't like it melted. Ooh, Walter's Mountain Tires. Screw that. I had a grilled fajita sandwich. Grilled. It was grilled. It was fajitas, but it was like fajita meat, but it was cut really really thin. It was like wafer thin. I don't know how the hell I got to cut that thin. And then it had the cheese and everything. It was like a grilled cheese. They called it a fajita melt. It's basically a grilled cheese sandwich with fajita meat and cheese in it. Not sure it was called. Yeah, avocado in it too, which was weird, but it was good. Um, there's some good sandwiches out there, man. I would love to open a sandwich shop, but I would just eat all the profits. That'd be a lot of time on your feet. That government cheese that everybody remembers back in the day, that was actually legitimate, real, just cheese, man. Um, that was the best stuff ever. Just uh, mild cheddar. What was mild, either cheddar or American? I can't remember. Anyway, it was just cheese, dude. We got we would get when we go in, we would get cheese, rice, beans, and butter. Every once in a while, every once in a while, we would get peanut butter. Not very often. Uh, something else. Was it powdered milk? I think we get powdered milk too. I actually make a. It's kind of a. I call it a meatloaf, but it's not. You if you can find the chops for it, and you don't have to put those in there, but if you can find the seriously the wafer thin uh, pork chops, they're cut like that specifically so you can grill them for sandwiches. Okay. Uh, or you batter fry them and you put them on, and it's for pork chop sandwich. It may just be this part of Texas thing. I don't know, but and, you can get them further south. I know, but anyway, then but you take the wafer thin pork chops, and but first you take your hamburger meat and you season it up. You go ahead and you put the eggs and a little bit of quick oats in there, and your salt, your pepper, your garlic, your minced onions, all that stuff. And then you roll that out and you make uh, a, a try, not a try, a big rectangle. There you go, rectangle out of it. And then you put spinach, fresh spinach, down on the hamburger. Okay. You put down, make it thick, you know, 3 or 4 leaves thick. Then you put the pork down, then uh, the pork down on top of that. Then you put a layer of uh, onion, sliced onion, and then you very carefully, the onion has to be sliced really, really thin. You can dice the onion if you want to. It doesn't matter. The onion just has to be there. And so when you roll it up, it actually makes a coil where you can see the meat, the spinach, the meat, the onions, and it just, it just spirals down to this deal. Then you put that in the bread pan and you cook it, and then you slice it and you eat it. It's disgusting. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. I'd love to be in Tallahassee. I love Tallahassee. Um, well, I love the area. Severe thunderstorm warning. Do not go outside holding a tent pole. There's my solid advice for you, Carol. That's almost sage-like advice, honestly. Actually, don't know what to do. The new place doesn't have a wild sage tree. I'm going to try to get a sprout off of this one, I guess. What was I going to do? I was going to check. I was going to check the radar and make sure. No, it's Saturday. Some fat girl that ate 2 cherries and dropped the stills in your drink. Um, could have been Fat Boy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to aim the fat joke directly at women. I mean, guys are fat too. If you don't believe me, just look at Rob. Oh, wait, I was doing that. I gotta go like this. Then I gotta do this. Gotta put that. And then I gotta do this. And then I gotta wait like forever. And then uh, let's check. Let's check on Bobbert. Come on. Nah, Hillfield, Texas, pendejo. Um, oh, Undermont. Just hope they didn't take a bite out of your lime before they dropped it in there, brother. Just ask them. Just saying, man, it could happen. Dun 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 dun. Ooh. Uh, I really thought Amarillo was further up into the panhandle than that. I mean, it's not like it's not on up in there, but I don't know why. I was in my head. I kept picturing Amarillo being closer to like where Dalhart is. I don't know why. Uh, Went to Vernon once. There's absolutely nothing in Vernon. Um, there's not much in Morton or Muleshoe either. Spur's pretty. Spur's a pretty little town. It's old though. I like Paducah. Maybe he just doesn't want to bake it again, Walter. What did I have for supper? Oh yeah. I haven't. The lack of enthusiasm over the past couple of days is to be expected. I think. But Edna did not approve of drinking. It wasn't until 10, 12 years ago she decided that if she was going to have if one of her kids was ever going to visit her during the family get together things, that she was going to have to allow alcohol on her front porch. So, uh, 32 years, I drank three beer on that woman's front porch. And that was it. Couldn't enjoy one of them. she had bad history with men that like to drink alcohol. So she got a little bit of money from a life insurance policy when her husband passed, my wife's dad, and um, some money from something else. Anyway, it was enough that paid for the funeral, and she had a few $1,000s left over, and she bought the house where she lived in until, well, um, they lived other places a couple of times, but she still kept the house, and then finally that's where she moved there, and she stayed there for the longest. Uh, I don't know all the story on the house. I just know it was bought and paid for by her husband passing. That's all I know. And that I did more honeydew stuff to that house than I did to anything that my wife's ever lived in. So, just to fix the plumbing all the time. You know. If she, in passing, said, "Man, I wish I could do this or that," in hearing of my wife's, in my wife's hearing, there always seemed to be a way to make it happen. And yeah, some of it took me a really long time because I'd have to work on it here and there. But yeah, she said she'd like a new dining room built onto the side of her house, so she got that. I told her, I said, as soon as I get it painted, you can move in. And I textured the walls before I left. I was going to come back and paint them. And when I come back, I come back the following weekend. She'd already moved everything into the dining room. I was like, why'd you move all this stuff in here? She goes, well, you finished it. I said, I textured walls. I didn't paint it. She goes, well, it all looked white to me. Okay. She put up border trim and everything in there. The walls hadn't even faded. She wasn't about to move all that stuff back out of the way so I could paint the walls. So, Mrs. S is doing good with it. Uh, she got to sit down with her and visit a while back, and uh, she got to say her goodbyes and everything. You know, she's having a hard time. Well, and that's not entirely true either. She's not. She's upset the way the family's acting, but um, which is aggravating the snot out of me, and whole Frozen song keeps playing into my back of my brain. Just let it go. If y'all never see me again after tomorrow, you'll know why, because there'll be an after action report. But yeah, she was the last. Trying really hard not to get into any of the BS, but mom's quality of life had gone to nothing. So our prayers had switched to take her home and make it peaceful. Then we, they called in hospice a couple of weeks before she actually went. So, uh, you always want to be there you always want them to know you're there, and the whole last breath thing and everything. I did that with my brother. I did that with my mom. I would have done it with Edna. But I got all of the kids, we all made a concerted effort until we got to go visit her, and she knew who we were. Till we caught her on a day where she knew who we were and she knew what we were saying. We kept going. And then uh, yeah. Plus, because we're not going to be able to get out of this house as fast as we wanted to, and into the other house as fast as we wanted to. Uh, so the missus has taken a second job to try to alleviate some of the stress of having two mortgages. So I can't do the work on that house by myself. I mean, I'm I'm wore out. I, I'm willing and just not able. I've got the kitchen cabinets. I got the kitchen cabinets mostly done. I have the kitchen walls done. The wind keeps knocking me out of finishing the cabinet doors because you can't. I'm having to paint them outside because there's limited space, and I can't paint them when the dirt's blowing. So I may try to set it up, even if I can just do 2 or 4 of them at a time. Is that they ain't they're like a lot. They're a lot. There's a butt ton of cabinets in this house. Um, there's more cabinet space in this house than the new house than there's in the old house, and the kitchen is laid out way better. Um, the kitchen and dining room are about the same size, but it's laid out better. There's less room in the dining area, and there's more room in the kitchen. You know, instead of this huge area for a dining room and a little bitty galley type kitchen, which I like, because I don't want anybody in the kitchen with me when I'm cooking. Why are you in my area? Um, I don't know that I'm going to like this kitchen because everything's so far away from everything else. I mean, the counter, the stove, and the refrigerator, they are, and you've got your basic triangle or whatever, but it's uh, solid 3 steps to the refrigerator from the sink. I'm not going to be able to just take half a step, open the door, and get what I want out of the stove or out of the refrigerator from the stove. It's going to make making gravy like a whole big pain. So, bang. Now, still, I've managed to fix most of the electrical problems, but they were jerking around in the attic and doing stuff, and I don't know what they were doing. Uh, got one outlet, it's still disconnected up in the attic somewhere. One set of recessed lighting that's disconnected up in the attic. 2 defective outlets. Got to fix those. Those I got a little thing and I tested them, and there's electricity there. It's not constant. So there's a loose wire or broken something in the something ain't right in that there receptacle. So in the end, got to fix the fence so I know it's out in the middle of nowhere or whatever, but we've got to be able to fence the dogs until they're used to the new place, or there's no telling where they'll wind up. And there's like nobody left in the room. Did my doohickey quit? I guess because I'm not pissing and moaning about political affairs and way to go, Joe. Nobody wants to hang out. I don't know. Maybe if I start a new live stream and go, God, we're all going to die because there's no popcorn. There's no way we can get butter for our Cheetos. Oh my God, we're all going to die. If I did all that, maybe the people will come back. Maybe that's what it is. What's the word they're saying for if you support Ukraine or whatever? Maybe. Oh no, that man, I can't believe you're forcing her to stay at that dump anyway. Nobody in their right mind would want to stay at that cabin. Oh, had people jump back in. See, that's all I got to do is start screaming about way to go Joe and stuff. And the Cheeto shortage. Do you know that if they don't get the corn to come up out of the ground and they can't feed the solids to them their cows, they can't make no cheese and they can't make no corn puffs to put them cheese on. So that means there ain't going to be no Cheetos. That's going to be the end of most of you guys. They ain't got the stuff they need to make them their Cheetos. Because I think that them their Mylar bags they put them Cheetos in, I think that's one of them rare earth metals that they get from over in China. And China's not going to give us no more Mylar, so we ain't going to put our Cheetos in no Mylar bag. Even if we had corn and cheese from the dairies to make the Cheetos, we wouldn't be able to put them in no bags because China's not going to give us no more Mylar. And, well, it's going to be the great famine of the Cheetos of 2022. That's what we're looking at. By Christmas, there not gonna be no more Cheetos and no more Mylar bags. You mark my word. That's it. That's all over with. We just gonna have to eat them cheese balls straight out of that there jar. Got to go to Sam's and get them $5 jars of Cheeto puffs. The ones that you could use for a fire starter because they so oily. The good ones. I'm scared to death we're gonna be out of Cheetos now. Shouldn't have thought that all the way through. I'm gonna have to like make my own Cheetos plant. Hey, my Rob, my asparagus made seeds, dude. Like, I don't mean like a couple of berries. There are 100 freaking berries in the tub. It just keeps making them. There's green ones. It's making more. I picked up probably 20 of them today, and that's just the ones that I could get to real easy. They're just all over the place in the bottom of it. Just the little seeds. There's only like one or two seeds in each one, but I'm gonna try to plant asparagus. Let's see if I can get asparagus to come up from them. I kind of freaked out when I found out that asparagus made seeds. I found that out last year. And I was and I saved the two seeds that it made last year. And then I was like, oh, and then like this year it's like, damn. I do too. I want a whole field of that stuff at the new place. Uh, the barn has the watershed to the southern exposure. So that should be plenty of sun. So I think if I get the asparagus to start in it needs full sun, it needs all day sun, but you would think that 8 hours would be enough. If it needs 10, it won't work. But um, I've got to put it somewhere where the goats aren't going to be grazing. The goats and the sheep, because goats and sheep, when they find that asparagus, it's just going to be ate down to the ground every day. Mom was a prepper. Not to the degree that we are, but she didn't throw anything out. I left a guitar at her house and I can't play. I was trying to learn. But I left a guitar at her house when when Leland was like 2. I found that thing in the freaking closet a couple years ago. I left it there and she put it up. The meat roll I was talking about earlier, Clifford, you can take the asparagus. It's kind of tricky, but you split it. You split each one of the asparagus sprouts in half, and you lay that out instead of the spinach. You put that in there. That's an expensive meat roll, but well, I don't know, spinach isn't real cheap either. But you put the asparagus instead of the spinach, or you can put asparagus and spinach. I've not done that yet, but now I'm going to. It's, dude, that's you eat your meatloaf and you get your vegetables and greens all at the same time. And it is perfectly acceptable to put butter. If you buy the extra lean beef to make your meatloaf, soften butter and mix into your meatloaf. It's okay. It's legal. It's because I just made that rule. You can do that. Especially if you use saltines instead of oatmeal, put some butter in there. Now, do not put butter in your meatloaf if you use regular 73, 28, or 27 or whatever it is. I mean, that's not that's butter flavored lard or tallow at that point. Okay, so just don't do it. But if you're gonna, I mean, lean beef does not have enough calories in it. Listen to what I am saying. Lean meat does not possess enough calories, readily available calories, sorry, to allow your body to process the proteins. You need grains, rice. You need carbohydrates with your beef. The reason people don't gain a lot of weight if they eat meat and potatoes is because a lot of the calories in the potatoes is being used to digest the proteins in the steak. Now, if you're eating a really heavily marbled steak, and which is the only way to eat a steak, and a giant mashed potato or baked potato, and you're wondering why you're not losing weight, it's because the steak has enough calories in the form of the marbling to digest the proteins. I said lean meat. Lean meat does not have the calories, the readily available calories to digest the proteins. You gotta listen to the whole thing I say. I'm going into the house for dinner. It's an old stone farmhouse and there's no service inside. Okay, Walter, we'll talk later. Um, Mom wasn't big on steak. She liked hamburger steak or liver and onions. I can't remember what she would order when we take her out. She would either order a burger, usually a burger. I can't remember if she was a chicken fry lover or not. That's weird. What do you want? Where are the other two dogs at? Okay, I gotta go feed my dog. She's ringing the dinner bell. My favorite food is steak. And it can be any kind of steak. It can be pork steak, goat steak, deer steak, beef steak, had moose steak, had elk steak. Moose is really good. Uh, Elk is not bad. Aoudad is delicious. Um, Aoudad tastes like beef, but oh, better's not the right word. Uh, tastes like beef with character. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Now it is a lean meat. The uh, the one I got, the one I shot was fat because he'd been camping on a deer feeder and eating corn. So he was portly. He was a young portly feller. Uh, he weighed 178 pounds. I mean, he was full grown, but he wasn't all the way grown. Uh, I forget what the record is off of that ranch, but it's 225 or something like that. And they'll get bigger. They'll get up to 250, 275 down there. Back in Barbados or whatever, not Barbados. Anyway, North Africa, where they're from, they don't get that big, but they do over here. Apparently, now they don't get that big down in the Davies Mountains because they have to be a lot more athletic down there. But down there around Ozona and stuff, it's flat country pretty much. They don't have to do all that damn climbing and stuff that they have to do in the Davies Mountains or back in North Africa. Okay, who's what do you call it? Lurking. Some people lurking. The numbers are going up, and people aren't saying, hey, Rachel. Yeah, everything's cool, girl. Just sitting here giving myself a hangover. So having bourbon and Dr. Pepper, which is nutritious and delicious. Nah, I'm not gonna let myself go to the hangover point. I'll an hour. I think this is number 3. I'll get tired of yakking at y'all. You missed it, Rachel. I already did the explanation of what was going to happen with all the Cheeto shortages and stuff. You have to go back. What was that, about 15, 20 minutes ago, guys? Carol's lurking, and Walter said he left. Rob, Clifford, and Rachel, the only people talking. That comes up to 4, but it says I've got 6 people in the room. Oh, wait, one of those is me. So there's one lurker. Oh, that's cool, Rachel. I've been texturing and painting. Well, I removed some paneling. Man, doing that wall, and I should have done. I think I've got some before pictures, and Mrs. West was right. She's like, or Mrs. S. She's like, you do realize that you're not going to be able to hold to this, not showing people the property, right? That you're going to wind up showing them what you're doing out here. And I'm like, yeah. So I'll try to dig out the before pictures and the after pictures of what I'm doing there. In a montage or whatever. Anybody that feels like working for free or whatever, y'all are welcome to show up because I really got to get them barns cleaned out. Um, I can't repair them until I get them cleaned out. What'd you go to the doctor for? Is everything okay with the baby? I left Elijah a while ago. He was still crawling around in the floor, not crawling, but flopping around back and forth, rolling from his right side to his back to his left side, just flopping all around, just having a heyday, smiling and talking to the ceiling. He was just enjoying the crap out of being in the floor. And I think his mom had, when she did the video conference earlier, she was telling me that he had finally decided he was hungry again. I like him. He's decided that it's okay to hang out with me finally. He was a he was he would get upset whenever I would try to hold him or whatever because I didn't have all the bumps and stuff in the right places. But he finally figured out that it was okay, that I'm okay, that I can. Because today, uh, she handed him off to me and she was doing something. Um, so I'm like, I'm holding him. I was like halfway through with texturing the wall, and I'm like, I was texturing the wall. I can't when I've got. So I was like, well, he's not griping about it. So I just kept texturing the wall while I was holding the baby. And so me and him textured the wall today, and he got mud on his feet because I didn't notice that he kept every time I get close, he would kick the wall. So I cleaned most of that off and off of his feet, and then I rolled over his footprints on the wall. You can still kind of see where they were because I didn't notice it right away. And anyway, he likes you to hold him and move around. He likes that. He likes motion. And but when you're doing that, he's just dead weight. He's just like bleh. He doesn't try to help at all. So he's it's a good exercise. I wouldn't trade my time with the little shite for nothing. Okay. He's way better than the new puppy. So far, he hadn't crapped in the floor anyway. Didn't she have trouble turning the water on every time? Robert, what was the problem last time? When they a valve up line or something like that? No, I'm definitely not minding my own business anymore. I was checking the radar earlier. Looked like it was all north of you. Was it coming south? The rain that comes from the north to the south is the good stuff. According to this, you're still a little ways out of getting hit. It's a good storm, though, Carol. That ought to be good for y'all's lakes up there. I'm pretty sure that's going to roll across Meredith's watershed. The Comanche National Grasslands up Oklahoma got some rain. I don't know. It's maybe 30 miles north of you. It could get you up here. Do I know you? Have we been formally introduced? The I don't know what happened to Sweet Pea's dogs. I'm gonna have to go looking for them if they don't show up. I'm afraid they've been rescued again. Dogs are all people are always rescuing her dogs. They'll go out by the road to wait for her to get home, and then somebody else, oh, the poor dogs, and say, come here, and they'll go and they'll jump in the vehicle, and then we have to go get them. I've got you trapped right here. I ought to put that stuff on you. You're not paying attention. I'm gonna try to sneak this in on my dog. You want to see something funny? Wait, just gonna look up. It's like she knows what I'm trying to do. I'm not doing anything. See? What are you talking about? What's up? You ain't doing nothing. Yeah, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. Who just got tricked? Who y'all? She heard that squish though, and she was out of here. You have no idea. It's usually a 2-person job to get that on her. She does not like that stuff. I think it may irritate her skin, but it helps her so much with the fleas. I'm gonna go let her out now. She's gonna want to go roll around in the dirt. Shiloh was just down in the dump grounds playing around in the pit, which is a big muddy mess. You know how I know? Because he's a big muddy mess. Your dog showed back up. Not Sweet Pea. What is it? All these adults. There's like literally adults that play dodgeball now. Hey, Tibor. Oh, sorry. I always make the mistake of clicking the Instagram thing. Um, the reels will suck me in. And they'll be like, oh, what's that all about? I got to check on my mom real quick. Uh, Damn, Dad on YouTube making some vegetables. Um, hmm. See. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, bro. Or nephew. Yeah, nope. Nope. See if I can find a picture of this crotchety old lady. Some of you people follow me on Instagram and stuff, and y'all should know her. Seriously, Sweet Pea? Well, your dog showed up. The big one needs a bath, which means he was down in the water pit at the dump ground. So, you need to wash your dog. Do not make your mom wash your dog again. I mean, granted, this time he didn't come back green, but whatever. I mean, your dog is nasty. I babysit. That kid, I don't know what you gripe about. That baby's so easy to watch. I mean, he don't do nothing. Ew. Let him finger paint with mud and chew on stuff. He likes playing Mumsy Pig. That's a fun game. Oh well, yeah, that's not good, Carol. Well, toe paint, whatever. Uh, I started to put his feet prints in the wall just because I could. I had him. All I had to do was, and the mud was wet. All I had to do was walk over there, and I could have put his footprints in the wall, and they'd have been there. Been painted. Bam, they'd have been there. But I didn't want to get in trouble. I mean, it would have either been super cool or I would have been super dead. One of those two things, and I wasn't exactly sure which one. And yeah, I went with safety first. Always safety first. Always caution. Always be cautious. You can still kind of see where his toe streaks were, but little claw marks. Yeah, as soon as I noticed it on his feet, I got it off because I was worried about it being because that stuff will dry your skin off. I thought I got it all off. I didn't know you were ever going to know, honestly. Uh, But me and him got that wall texture, so you know. Later on in life, you'll be able to say, "See that, Elijah? You and Pop Pop did that wall. Y'all textured that wall right there. You did that. You did that for your first birthday, boy. Don't tell me you don't know how to take out the trash. If you can texture the wall when you're 2 months old, you can take out the trash, boy. Like that. See, you got all kinds of. I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee. That no, Chipper. There's chances and there's unnecessary risk. I'm okay with chances, not okay with unnecessary risk. We'll go get some coffee. I'll be right back. Hey, Chipper, you just came in the room. You're in charge. I just took care of all kinds of things while I was gone. Went in and peed, got me some coffee, went in and peed, got me some more cigarette. Ah, ha, ha. None of you people understand the concept of taking care of them. That's why we can't have nothing nice. And you know, if I talk to that boy while he's eating, he falls smooth asleep. If I sing to him, he wakes up. Carol crash. There's a lag, Chipper. You got to give it a minute for the sound to get back to you. Good luck with that. I had him sound asleep until I tried to lay him down. Oh. In case y'all are wondering what the predominant color in the house is, uh, it's a premixed paint from the Wally World. It's Sahara Desert sand. Sahara Desert sand. When you put it on it, the first stage of drying is really dark gray, and you're scared to death. But then it lightens up after an overnight, and then it goes to after about 3 days, it actually goes to the soft tan it's supposed to be. So if you choose to get that paint, be aware that it goes through 3 stages of drying. When you first put it on the wall, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is too light. And then after it dries, you're going to be, oh my gosh, this is too dark. And then you're going to realize, no, it's what you wanted. You just have to give it a minute. Well, actually, you have to give it about 3 days. So, Carol, you sure that's not just your boy getting rid of the uh, grilled cheese sandwiches? Let me check. Let me check. Yeah, it's coming straight for you. If it holds together, y'all gonna get wet. That's a good slow moving storm, though. At least it's dumping plenty of water. It's gonna have to hold together for a really, really long time to get down to. Down the road, I don't think it's gonna make it. It's the part that would hit him still way over in Colorado. I hope y'all don't get hit too bad with hail. I got caught in Branson Canyon in a hailstorm, thunderstorm thing once. That was not any fun. Are the puppies outside dogs or inside dogs, Chip? How are you doing, the pups? In case y'all anybody know, Chipper's got two of the most adorable puppies I've ever seen. 6 months from now, do not try to pet that little black one, though. I guarantee you, Chipper is training that dog to be vicious because that's what Chipper does. I mean, there's nothing like having a mini howitzer in the vehicle with you, though, honestly. The whole time we were playing Ghost, because you can get a guard dog or a German Shepherd as one of your perks or whatever. And we were like, they should do a special thing where you can buy a deal and replace your German Shepherd with like 10 Chihuahuas. And, you know, the 10 Chihuahuas are equal to one German Shepherd or whatever. So, but you can't, just killing one Chihuahua would not negate the others. So, and, we just all thought it would be cool to have 10 vicious little Chihuahuas attacking people for us. But the game design people would never run with it. We don't know why. You have to work on the big one. I mean, I don't think he can stay scared of the horses his whole life. That's kind of cute, though. A horse ain't figured out what to make of them, I don't think. I did not realize how pretty that paint was, man. Um, that horse is absolutely beautiful, actually. Can it run, or do you know? Do you even know if that horse can run? It just looks like he ought to be able to run. I'm actually thinking about getting a horse, but I want one. Well, I guess so. And maybe it may not be muscle on it. That may be just marbling. Uh, that's entirely possible, I suppose. He's a pretty horse, though. Mine would not be. The literally, I shouldn't have started riding at the BTSR. I forgot how much I enjoyed riding horses. And, it would be nice to work with him and saddle him every so often. Like 2 or 3 times a week, and because I'm sorry, riding a horse for 3 or 4 miles is a pretty decent workout. I'm not reading a book to my horse. I'm actually listening to an audiobook right now about the Forgotten Planet or whatever. And it is definitely dated. It's a 70s or 60s or 70s sci-fi thing. Um, Computers were a thing, but they weren't what they are now. The guy never envisioned everybody having a computer in their back pocket, capable of doing twice what the computer on the remote spaceship was capable of doing. The only problem is my dog does not like horses. So I think it's going to be a matter of getting a young one, which I am not geared for, or figuring out some way to get Sadie and you home and get me a dog to raise around the horse. Maybe I probably just won't get a horse, honestly. If I can, and I'm changed more. The cigarettes y'all are seeing me smoke now. This is the most I've smoked in days. Just because it's spicy Dr Pepper. Yeah. Well, it's okay, Christy. We're not sad. We're we're happy that she finally got to escape the body she was trapped in and got to go on with it. Um, I mean, we're a little tore up because we're miss her, but we've been missing her for 6 months. Well, longer. It's been over a year since I talked to her. Wanted to come in. I've literally pulled into the convenience store right down from her street several times. I just could not bring myself to face the people around her. Yeah, Christy's one of those MIAs. She hadn't been around in forever. Rob, did you ever get the freaking water figured out? Are you gonna have to drive to New Mexico? Yeah, there's a lot of people that have cut back. I've been. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I've cut back. I've been putting out some shorts um, on my other channel and stuff. I actually like those where you have to just like say what you're gonna say in under a minute and kick it out there. Those actually can be pretty powerful. I've getting uh, actually several of them have gotten quite a surprising number of views. Um, This is the pen I used to sign for that. You know, I kept it. I like it. Writes on anything. Chipper, you get any loads in, or is the rain about got you knocked out of working? And T-boy, I'm fitting to twist off, and I'm taking that fishing pole, and I'm going to the lake. I gotta go fishing at least once before the season's over with. Congratulations, Christy. I'm working at it. That's okay, T-boy. I didn't really said anything about it. Just uh, I put this out there. I'll put it out on Facebook and stuff. So if anybody that wanted to from the family wanted to get on here and talk about it or whatever, I mean they know it's happening. Uh, they they're just not here to. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. Cool. I think I'm thinking I need to call you, Chipper. Well, I hope you stay off of them, Christine. I'm gonna get off of them because the days I don't smoke, I feel better. And it's just not worth it. I mean, I don't think I can add any days to my life, but I might be able to add some more quality days of life if I quit now. I'm pretty sure I've already killed myself with them, but uh, maybe. But if I could figure out how to get out of having to do all the stuff to this house, I'd really appreciate the advice. Tried everything I know. Everybody I ask for help is too busy. What with football parties and bar mitzvahs, and they're not even fucking Jewish. Um, well, I'm about to get it. If I can get that the rest of the kitchen put together, then uh, well, I've got what I've got to get done. I've got to get the cabinet door, the rest of the cabinet doors done and hung. I've got to get the cabinets over the bar, and uh, I've got to resurface the uh, area above the fireplace. The missus does not like it as it is, and I don't like it. It probably looked good when the house was new, but it doesn't. And then I've got to get under this one. There's no way I can do it by myself. I've got to get somebody to come over there and help me. Uh, this all there is to it. I've got to I'm going to go under, or we're going to go under the house and we're going to shore up the center beam. Whenever they set the house in 86, somebody should have already done this. There's no real excuse for it not being taken care of before now. There's a reason we got the house as cheap as we did, though. So anyway, I'm going to run a center beam of sorts. And basically, it'll be 6, maybe 8 solid cinder blocks, the same number of regular cinder blocks, 2x6, and then cedar shakes. And I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm thinking that we should be able to lift it enough to let it start losing memory just with the shakes. You get the beam under there and get everything snug, and then you put one shake shingle this way and the other one the other way, and you tack one to the beam so it can't move, and then you drive the other one in, and it will move the house. It's got about 1.25 inches of sag down the center, and I figure if I can get 1/2 inch of that out and then let it set a year, and I'll go back in and take another 1/2 inch out. The beautiful thing about it is the cracks and stuff from up raising the house should only show up in the hallway and in our bedroom. So it'll be a matter of going back in and fixing the cracks in the walls after I get it how I want it, but that's not that hard. AC 103. All right, Chrissy, thanks for stopping by. Hey, Mark. Mark sent me defective seeds. He said they didn't come up for him. I don't know if I'm going to throw them out or if I'm just going to spread them around and water shit out of them, see if they come up on their own. I mean, it ain't going to cost me nothing. I need to get them purple holes, some of them in the ground. The ceiling is the living room cathedral, and like I said, the main wall that holds the side of the cathedral ceiling, the two walls, structural walls for the cathedral ceiling part, are actually on the beams, but the floor is sagging. So the house is moving after, it's said empty for 4 years, and houses will die if they're left open or empty. So the house is whatever, and with us being in it and bringing life back into it. It's starting to breathe, and you know, there's that's just part of it. We knew we were going to have little issues like this, or I did. I don't know. I'm not sure the missus did, but the thing about it is, if you live in a house and you love the house will come back to life. It will become part of you. You'll become part of it, and um, that's Edna's house. That house should have fallen down a long time ago. I mean, good Lord, it's one of the oldest houses in Garza County, and uh, it was, I think that house was built when post was still in post. It doesn't set the same on the street as any of the other houses. That it's like it was built and then other people built houses. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's not in line with anybody else's house for blocks and blocks and blocks. It does set square with the street though. It's just in all the houses around it are regular stud walls and you know sheathing and stuff like that. They're all, but it's this one is I don't know how if a wood frame house. It's the house is literally made out of one bys. It's got uh, one by standing up and one by laying down for outside walls. And then it had originally had shiplap siding on the outside, and which is 1910, 1900, 1910, 1920s maybe building practices. Uh, I'd have to look and see when post was built. Most of the houses on that street were built in the 50s, though. That's yeah. I gotta go slow with it, or I'll just I can do more if I try to rush it. I can do more damage than good. So I've gotta un memory it. If that makes any sense. And what I may do, and I do not suggest this to anybody, but it's something I've been playing around in my head. Um, I may, after I get it jacked up, I may run the dryer vent under the house and keep the humidity up, and because that'll the moisture in the wood, the moisture and the heat in the wood should allow it to lose the memory faster. But I don't know that, and I don't want too much moisture under the house because that what's the it can invite unwanted consequences. Um, so I've got the jacks. I used to, uh, I wouldn't do big jobs or whatever, but I used to. That's nobody else wanted to do it, so there goes. I mean, whatever nobody else wants to do, Wes will do it to make a dollar. And you know, at 55, I realized why nobody else was willing to do this full time because the the work people turn away is the ones that it wears you out. You know, it's okay if you do it every so often, but when you have to do it a lot, it's just really rough on you. It is hard, hot, and dangerous under houses. You're close in. There's you know good good gosh, there's diseases under there. There's mold. There's snakes. There's scorpions. There's spiders. Um, I've had to have boils lanced on my back because I crawling under a house or whatever, and roll over and get a goat head stuck in me that's been under there for God only knows how long and gets infected. Uh, eh, oh yeah, nails above your head. Addicts are real good about that. I've bled many times trying to do stuff in attics and stuff, and wound up moving and getting a nail in my shoulder or something. People are always, well, I can get such and such to do it for cheaper. Call him because yeah, I need the money and I need the work and stuff, but I mean, this, you know, my life is worth something. The If you want to call little Billy, who's worked for somebody for 6 months and thinks he knows how to do all this stuff, and didn't think it was fair that he was getting paid $12 an hour when the boss man was charging whatever. And now he's out there doing himself, cutting everybody's throat, bringing the down to where everybody thinks that you was overcharging or whatever. And then you wind up 2 years later going back and fixing what he screwed up. But um, very few of those guys last. But you still got them. And they make it really hard on the guys who are actually professionals. I actually got to where if I hired anybody new or whatever and said, okay, you don't know how to do this. I'm going to teach you how to do this. If you quit me in 3 or 4 months and I find out you're doing this for somebody else, and for more money, I mean, after I teach you, you know nothing. After I teach you how to do this, if you use what you learned from me to go make more money somewhere else, instead of getting me my investment back so I can pay you more, you know, I've never worked anybody longer than 6 months without giving them a substantial raise. Because seriously, the first 3 months you're not making anything off of these people. You're actually most of the time you're spending nearly as much time showing them what they need to be doing as they are doing it. And you can't justify charging for that. So uh, you're getting more work done, so you're doing okay. I mean, you're getting more work, through your little company. But instead of just you and what you do, you get paid for. You've got all this overhead because you got an employee, and in right about 3 months, There's stuff that you can say, okay, go do this, go do this, go do this, and you don't have to worry about it. They've got that. And then usually around 6 months, you've got it to where most of the stuff you hired them to do, they've got a real good handle on. There may be something that come up that it's just a little weird, odd thing, and they've got to come and if it's a good hand, they will come and ask you about it. You talk about it and then say, do this, or here, I'll give you a hand. Let's get through this and we can go on. By then the guy's making you money. If the guy's making you money, you pay them more money. But they always work until they get to the point where they're not costing you money, and then somebody realizes that, hey, you've done all the stuff to take this little 17, 18-year-old kid and turn him into somebody that can do a little bit of something. So they catch him at the coffee shop and they say, hey man, what's he paying you? Oh, he's paying you $10 an hour. I can give you $12.50 right now. Turning you 2 weeks. Granted, he was going to have to ride it out another 3 months to get the $15 an hour, but he was on his way to $15 an hour. There's the closest sawmill to me is it would not justify driving to. Um, I've got plenty of junk wood. And here we have subterranean termites, so you don't put wood on the ground unless you have to. But yeah. The kid that's doing most of the work around here right now, which I would have worked him on my stuff if things had gone the way we wanted to at the bank. But well, they would have, but we were going to have to wait. We were literally going to be making payments on that house, waiting for the contractor to get over there to do the work. And we would have been looking at 6 months for him to show up and go to work. And then probably 2 months for him to get the work done. So we decided to just do it different. We were going to things have gone sideways or whatever. We spent a lot more time and money on plumbing. We were led to believe that there was nothing wrong with the plumbing. Let's just leave it there. There was a lot wrong with the plumbing. A friend of ours actually hired a plumber, and all he had to do was show up. But he wouldn't come back out and go into there and fix it. So I had to do it. What he could have done in a day took me a week. Because I couldn't just go into there and stay. I had to go into there, do a little bit, come back out. All right, Carol. Stay inside. Don't get beat to death with that hail. That's 2 hours anyway. We ain't really been talking about mom that much. Just talking about other BS. If you love somebody, don't wait till their funeral to show them. You can take somebody out for a burger. You can take somebody out for a cup of coffee. You can swing by with the old John Wayne movie, flap it in the DVD, and you can put up with having to play the TV too loud. Um, there's there's no reason not to do it. I don't care. I mean, if you're too busy for your family, you got life all messed up. I mean, yeah, you didn't choose your family, but they're the only one you get. The one, all I'm saying is the ones you love them. The ones you don't, just whatever. I mean, you don't have to love everybody in your family. It's um, nobody else is allowed to hate them, but you don't have to love them. Yep. Thing I put on my uh, community section about meeting Edna. That's really there was a whole lot more to that story than I put in there, but that was a first couple of years very condensed of our relationship, and I had never tried to impress anybody's mom before. I figure, hey, if the lady likes me, that's good enough for me. But on this one, just it was very important because, I mean, she just struck me as a woman you would want in your corner. And I was right. Making friends with Edna Bilberry was the best decision I ever made in my life. There was a lot of long days, a lot of sore backs, a lot of bruised knuckles. There was a lot of sleepless nights worrying about her. There was, but if I took all the bad and piled it up, it would look like a grain of sand compared to all the good that I got out of knowing that woman. I will miss her being here to pray for me and my family. She was an amazing prayer warrior. You didn't want her praying for you if you had done her wrong. But other than that, you were pretty good. Yeah, C103. That's actually a song to pay real close attention to. honestly. Well, and I'm sorry, I'm a firm believer that there's a difference between the continuation of breathing and a pulse and the continuation of life. My wife and her niece worked their ass off for 8 months to secure a situation for mom where that lady would be able to stay in her home until the day she died. They knew what mom wanted. They made all the phone calls. They talked to all the doctors. They signed all the papers. They explained to mom why she needed to sign certain papers and stuff for it to work that way. They did all of it. They both gave up all their inheritance to make it happen, so that Social Security would pay for somebody to stay with her in the home instead of her having to go somewhere and be set with in a home. And then it got ugly. That's it's She already had dementia, and there was some lying done. And anyway, we don't care. She got to stay. She died in her home, just like she wanted to. She got to spend every day in her pictures, in her. She had every birthday card, Christmas card. She had all the pictures of all of their son-in-laws, grandchildren. If you were in the armed services, you were enshrined in her living room. If you gave her a grandchild, you were enshrined in her living room. If you were a grandchild, you were enshrined in her living room. If you were a child of hers, if if she liked you, you were in there. And she got to end her days in her own living room. So she went the way she wanted to. There was a lot of family at this one that chose not to attend because of all the BS that was going on. Next few weeks or days, or I will get by her grave and I'll tell her bye. shed my tears, and I will go on my life. Funerals are for the people that are still alive. Anyway, they're not for the people that are gone. So, I'm getting all bummed out now. If you love somebody, let them know you love them. Don't. It's something else. If you've got somebody that you love, don't hold on to them so long that they spend the last little bit of their life miserable. My mom used to work in a nursing home. My sister worked in a nursing home. My daughter and my daughter-in-law worked in a nursing home. My daughter absolutely loved sitting with people, older people in their homes. It was like, she thought it was the best job ever. But the number of people that get put in nursing homes and are just left in there forever. I mean, they'll spend the last 4 or 5 years of their life. Retirement villages are different. I'm talking about nursing homes. They spend the last 3, 4, 5 years of their life in there staring at the door hoping somebody will come see them. It's just a load of shit. Don't do that to somebody. Um, Seriously. I mean, if you love them, take them to the lake, kick them off the back of the boat. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna put them in prison for the last 5 years of their life, just take them somewhere and kick them off the boat. Just get it over with. It'd be kinder. Children, if you're hearing me, I'm serious. Don't put me in one of those places. Do not throw your life away keeping me alive in some machine or some little hole in the back of the house or whatever either. Just take me fishing. Take me off the back of the boat. Go on with your life. Let me go. Go on with your life. Yeah. Love you, people. I'm gonna go find me a sandwich. If you don't believe in the hereafter, you need to work on yourself because it's real. That's where people go. Love y'all. Y'all still out. Do not die. If I go missing after this, look for me in the papers. So, love y'all. I will see y'all Saturday night on the other channel. We'll talk about something cool and uplifting, like the fact that there's never going to be any more Cheetos because you have to have grain and dairy for Cheetos to work, and we don't have those anymore. Just way to go, Joe.